Hey, and welcome back. I am MarshaunO, your favorite life and relationship strategist, and I am here to talk about ways to discover who you are. See, a lot of times we jump into these relationships and we are taking everything that we have done from one relationship into the next relationship, into the next relationship, into the next relationship, and a lot of times we are doing and becoming the person that we think that our spouse, that our lover wants us to be. And so a lot of times we become chameleons and we transfer into these people or into this person that we think our lover. And sometimes this even happens in our friendships. I was actually talking to a young lady the other day, and she was basically saying that in her childhood, in order to get people to like her, she just started to become this chameleon and started to just become whomever she thought the people wanted her to be, i.e., her potential friends or people that she wanted to become her friend. And a lot of times we have the tendency to do the exact same thing within our relationships. And so instead of becoming and doing and becoming the chameleon that you think that your partner wants you to become, why not just be yourself? So today I'm going to teach you and tell you and discuss with you 8 ways on how you can just discover who you truly are. And one of the first things that you have to do is really just to rely on yourself. Like, we have a tendency to become codependent in our relationships, and we have a tendency to become the people pleaser, the people, or we are people pleasers because we want people to like us. We want people to love us, especially our spouses. I'm getting tongue tied today. So especially our spouses and our partners, we want them to love us, to accept us, and we become codependent on them. Their every word, everything that they have to say, we want to hear their opinion. And sometimes it can get as critical, and the reason why I'm using critical is because sometimes you feel like you can't even go throughout your day without getting your spouse's opinion. You cannot make a decision without them having a say before you do said things. But start to rely on yourself, rely on your own opinion, your own thoughts, which actually brings me to point number 2, which is to distinguish your thoughts from other people's thoughts. So just like in the last example, sometimes we have a tendency to become codependent, and we can't even go through our days without specifically you asking for your spouse's opinion about something. Try to go throughout the next couple days, the next few weeks, without asking for your spouse's or your partner or your lover's opinion. And that way you will start to rely on your thoughts, rely on the things that you feel are important, rely on your own decisions. That is going to help you to be able to start to discover who you are, what you like, what you want, what you need, what you desire. And so you don't have to listen to anybody else's voice that sometimes pops into your head. You'll be able to listen to your own voice, your own thoughts, your own words. And over a period of time, you'll become more self-sufficient instead of codependent. The next thing, which is number 3, is to assess all of your relationships that you are in, specifically your romantic one, but even in your friendships, your co-worker relationships, even your associate relationships. What are they bringing to the table? How do they speak to you? How do you allow them to speak to you? Are they speaking words of life into you, such as, girl, you got this, you can do this, go out there and give it all you got, or make that telephone call, make that sales call, go out there and go get that degree, go and do exactly what you want to do? Are they like really feeding stuff into your life, or are they taking away from you? I.e., now you know you ain't got no business doing that. I don't know why you thought that you could be able to do that anyway. And including your spouse, because sometimes your spouse is not going to support your dream because it's not their dream. They can't see you in that particular space. But guess what, sis? Guess what, bruh? It's not their dream. It's yours. And so, in order to discover who you are, you have to start walking into your own faith, your own word. And a lot of times, building your business is a lonely journey because not many people can actually see themselves as a business owner or an entrepreneur. And so, sometimes building your business is a lonely walk. But that's okay because you're not the first person to try to build your business. You're not the first person to try to get your degree. You're not the first person to try to go out for the audition. There have been plenty of other people that made it before you. Why not? Why can't you be the next person to make it in whatever goal that you're trying to achieve? And sometimes I have to repeat this because a lot of people get discouraged when I'm coaching my clients. A lot of people get discouraged that their spouse is not supporting them at this point in time of where they're at. But it's okay. Your dream wasn't given to your spouse. That's okay. At some point in time, they will be able to jump on board. Literally, when I first started dating my now husband, when we first started dating, he was kind of antsy, and I have to say antsy because he wasn't really on board with me being a relationship strategist, i.e. a relationship coach, and actually taking clients on. He wasn't 100% on board with it, but it wasn't that he didn't believe in me. Again, most of you know that he's from Africa, and this is not something that they usually do there, like coaching. Like, I'm sure that there is coaching there, like, don't get me wrong, but specifically to relationship coaching, there isn't a big audience for relationship coaching where people would actually pay money for it. Let me say that. It's not an audience there where people actually pay money for. But here in America, there is an audience for that. And so, even though he didn't support me right away, again, we weren't deep into the relationship, and I had already started it before I met him, but I was very young on into starting this up and doing it on a regular basis, and I didn't necessarily have his support. Well, guess what? I'm saying this to you today because now I have his 100% support. 100% support. So in the beginning, you might not get your spouse's support. You might not get your husband's support. You might not get your wife's support. But keep going. Keep going. After a while, he or she will be your biggest cheerleader if you believe in you enough to keep going. And that's the whole thing. No matter who has your back, you have to have your own back. And that's going to help to discover who you are. The next thing is stop relying on the negative things that are going to pop up in your head. It's going to pop up because we have a tendency to do things wrong or do things after it's done. We think about it and like, dang, I could have did that better. I could have said that better. I could have walked into that meeting better. I could have spoke up when I didn't. That's okay. That's life. You're not always going to get it right. And when those negative thoughts start to come, like you knew you couldn't do it, I don't even know why you tried to do that yourself anyway. That's all right. Let them go in one ear and out the other. Like let them pass through. Don't try to fight the thought off. Just let it pass through. Meaning, do not dwell on those negative thoughts. It's not that negative thoughts don't come to everybody, because they do. It's a matter of how much you let that affect you. That negative thought or thoughts, how much are you going to let them affect you and you moving forward or toward your next thing? And that's the difference in where people who are stagnant and those who go further on. The ones who go further on, it's not that they don't have the negative thoughts. It's just they didn't let the negative thoughts dwell on them, let them hang on them enough for them to keep them stuck in that situation. They moved past the negative thoughts, and that's what you have to do as well. The next thing is to discover what's important to you. What are your values? What qualities do you like? What characteristics are you looking for that you want to display from yourself so others around you can see that particular characteristic? Think about the things that you don't like about yourself and start to work on those things. Instead of you not liking them about yourself, start to work on the very areas in which you are weak. Because all of us are not strong in every single area. We're not. Maybe you're not strong at stop cursing and you want to stop cursing. Find a way, you know what, today I'm not going to curse at all. Start keeping track of that because it's going to make a difference. You know what? I don't want to yell at my spouse today. Start keeping track of that. I'm going to be a better wife. Start keeping track of how you can be a better wife. Write down 1 or 2 things where you can start to be a better wife. Write down 1 or 2 things where you can start to be a better husband. And then take action behind them. It's all about the action. That is the only way you're going to start to see a difference in your life, where you're going to start to transform your life from where you are today to where you want to be. So what is important to you? What values are important to you? That is another way for you to discover who you are and who you want to be. The next thing is find new ways to bring meaning to your life by trying new things and being intentional about those choices. So you want to try new things. You want to be intentional about the new things that you're bringing into your life. You don't want to, like I was reading this book, and basically in the book, it's a crazy book, but her and her husband decided to try something new, and the something new for them was cocaine. So I'm not saying go down that road, right? I am saying that when you want to try something new, especially making it adventurous where you and your spouse can connect together, that's not necessarily the road that I'm saying to go down, where you're trying something new, i.e. drugs. But try something new. Literally get on that roller coaster. Literally get on the roller coaster. Go out there, play on the swing set again. Go out there, race each other down the street. Go out there, have a battle where who can tell the best joke. Like, literally be intentional about the things that you want to do. Like, you're pretty good at jokes, and so maybe you want to take an improv class. Like, really be intentional about the things that you want to do, so you can discover who you are, discover what you like, discover what you don't like. All of it is going to play a part in who you are and how your life is going to unravel. The next thing is to immerse yourself in solitude. This is where a lot of people get messed up at, because we think that you think, if you're listening to this, and this, when I said that caught your attention, you're probably the very person who needs to take time alone to literally sit by yourself in quiet and let your thoughts run rampant. Don't run away from them. Start to deal with the very things that come up. After you come out of solitude, 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes of literally just being quiet and letting the thoughts flow the way that they're going to flow, write down the ones that you can remember or remember afterwards. And then discover why those thoughts got to you the way that they did. Discover why you did X, Y, and Z, which is the final point. Why did I actually yell at him? Why did I feel the need to cuss his butt out? Why did I feel the need to slam the car door? Why did I feel the need to yell at him? Why did I feel the need to smack that person? Like, literally start to evaluate your actions. Start to evaluate the thoughts that come to you, and really, really, really let them just flow. Take them all in. Don't judge yourself. Don't hold on to the negative thoughts. What you're doing, you're discovering who you are and why you are the person that you are, why you act the way you act, why you react the way that you react, why you start to just sit there and like lash out. Why are you not the happiest person? How come you're taking depressive medicine, antidepressants? Why are you taking those? Why do I feel like I have suicidal thoughts? Like, really, really sit in solitude and take these thoughts into consideration so you can discover who you are, what you like, what you want. And that way, when it's time for you to explain who you are, even on a job interview, when the interviewer asks that infamous question, who are you? You're not stammering and stuttering about who you are. And that's just with anybody else. If you're in a new dating situation, you'll be able to explain who you are. If you're in a marriage and haven't gone down the road of who you actually are, when you guys start to open up and have these difficult conversations, you'll be able to say, you know what, baby, I lash out, or I shut down, because when I was a young toddler, I always used to hear that a child is seen and not heard. or I don't, express myself well because I was always told that I shouldn't show my emotional side. And now it's really tough for me to show my emotional side because I've been holding on to and holding those emotions within me for so long that it is so tough for me to express myself. You have to be open and vulnerable so your spouse, so your lover can understand who you are. They can understand who they're lying next to in the bed. This is a way for you to discover who you are, but it's also a way for you to be able to express who you are to your spouse. I'm your favorite life and relationship strategist, MarshaunO, and this is how you will discover who you are and be able to share the information with those around you. I love you guys, and there's nothing that you can do about it. I'll see you in the very next video. Deuces, y'all.